Hi there. I'm Dr. Tanya Harris Cornelius, and welcome to this week's Aha Moment. This week I'm sharing on the topic of energy. You might be wondering, well, what does energy have to do with living your aha life? I think it has a lot to do with it. I'm going to be sharing on potential energy and kinetic energy, a little physics lesson. But before I get into it, I want to share this story with you. When I was coming up with the name, which is now Your Aha Life, I ran a lot of names by my sister to get her point of view. And all of the names that I ran by her had the word potential in them. And she stopped me and she said, "What is it with you and this word potential? Don't you know that that is just latent energy?" That conversation with my sister was an aha moment for me. You know how we always say, I want to fulfill my highest potential. Or in organizations, we say person X is a high potential employee. Well, what are we really saying here when we use the word potential? Potential energy is energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position relative to others, stresses within itself, an electrical charge, and other factors. What that really means is that potential energy is bottled up energy. It is stored energy. It's latent energy, just as my sister said. So, some examples of potential energy: a coil spring, an archer who pulls his string back for the bow but does not yet release, or water that is held by a dam, or a quarterback who raises his arm to throw the ball but has not yet thrown it. All of those are examples of potential energy. It means you have the potential to be great, you have the potential to have a tremendous impact, but it has not yet occurred. So that's a little bit of a physics lesson about potential energy. But how does it translate to you and your aha life? Let's think about it this way. Let's say you have a plan or a dream that is within you. It is something that every time you talk about it, it lights you up. It is, you get really excited about it because there's so much potential with that, but you haven't taken any action on it yet. It's potential energy. And what about you personally? Let's say you have a lot of interest, knowledge accumulated, skills and abilities, but you haven't yet put all of those things together to really move toward your goals and your dreams the way that you want. So then you could say, yes, you have great potential, but is that the best characterization you want for your life now that you know what potential energy is? Before you answer that, let me just say this. I'm not trying to be overly critical here. No matter how much energy we expend, we will always have some energy that is stored, some energy that is not yet fully realized. But if you are the archer with your bow and the string pulled back, at some point you have to release it so that your arrow flies and hits the mark, hits the target that you're trying to achieve. So what you really want is you want to make sure that you have kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the energy a body possesses by being in motion. Examples include walking and running, a skier skiing downhill, a moving car, a flying airplane, or windmills. You get the point. They're all in motion. The aha life is more like kinetic energy. I'd say it's probably the 80-20 rule applies here. 80% of your energy is in motion. You're utilizing the knowledge, skills, abilities, your gifts and talents to create the life that you want to live. And yes, 20% may be stored energy, maybe latent energy, because you're still developing, you're still growing and learning, and that's a lifelong journey. I know I've blended a little bit of physics here, but the point is that we can utilize energy in a couple of different ways. But what we don't want to do is keep that great energy bottled up. Let's take that energy and live your life fully. Live the life that you desire, the life that you are meant to live, your aha life. That's it. This has been another week for your aha moment. I'm Dr. Tanya Harris Cornelius. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.